Alright, we're playing a little bit more Minecraft. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Wrong one. Escape. That's the right one. Ah, that's why I quit. 180,000 blocks from spawn. Having one running world. Oh wait, I forgot I have my options. I have my render distance way up higher than I usually do. Okay, that is in fact both ends of the shipwreck. And I just took a screenshot. Like a goof. It's been a while, but I have a little odd feeling I'm not alone in this world. It's uncanny, almost. Was planning to make a video. I mean, I didn't share my plans, but I was planning to make a live stream with my fellow small YouTubers for the hell of it, because I was bored, but she wasn't responding, so. I don't blame her, it's not like you can. Not everybody is like me, or it's just like, I feel like making a video, let's make one. Is my hotbar always arranged like this? Because in a bunch of my private worlds, I'll do it like that. Huh. Odd. Because here's the thing, I make those private worlds and I mimic what the hotbar I have here is from memory, and I think I get it wrong almost every time. Like, I've got these two down. Or no, I've got the crafting table, I've got the axe down. But these are sometimes switched. These two are sometimes switched. The boat's always on the outside. But it's just... yeah. And I always have this stuff. Can't believe I still haven't found a god apple. Because you know what's crazy? I made my own hardcore world that's like the one I was just joined on accident. And you know what? I messed up the hotbar here too. I messed up the orders because I always have arranged like that. You know what? This is the actual one, so let's just keep it. Just adjust those private ones. But it's crazy that I haven't found a god apple yet, because first of all, I'm 180 blocks away from spawn. And second of all, I found a god apple in that private world, like 60,000 blocks away from spawn. Less than that. And I have almost enough diamonds for a full set of diamond armor just from chests. Like, I only have 7 in this world. I found a completely exposed stronghold too. It was cool. Just this world, I'm just stupid unlucky with it. I only have one name tag. I mean, I guess name tags are difficult to come by because you can really only find them in like underground chests. But like, still, you'd expect I would have found at least one name tag in like one of those Mesa because they have the exposed mines with the mine carts sometimes on the surface. I found a couple of those in my private world. I'd show you my hotbar, but it's fully within my intentions to keep that world something off of YouTube. Like, you guys got a real quick glance there. I don't intend to ever show you guys more than that. Because fundamentally, it's a private world. And if I were to show it off to others, it would stop being a private world. Now, I've showed screenshots to my friends before, but like, it's just because a lot of times I'll take like private survival worlds and I'll turn them into something I put on YouTube. That's what happened to my Hardcore Series 3 world, I believe. Because that was supposed to be just a private world, and I ended up uploading it onto YouTube. My other two Hardcore Series worlds, though, were both made to be hardcore videos. You know, like I made them to put onto YouTube. There was nothing like, this is a private world, but I'll just put it onto YouTube because why not? I need more content. No, those two were just. I mean, to be fair, they make up the. Actually, I had two Hardcore Series 2 worlds. And I don't know where the second one. I mean, where the original went. Because there's one I posted onto YouTube. And there's one where it was just audio. There was no video recording from it. And which really pissed me off, honestly. And I got the issue fixed later that week, but I made a whole hour and a half YouTube video. It's one of the handful of videos I have published but unlisted because I didn't watch that video before I posted it until I got comments from all of my friends from back before I moved that it was just audio. I miss those guys sometimes. I have a lot of doubt in myself, and sometimes I wonder if I was the asshole of that friend group. Or if things really were as I saw them, and I was just genuinely being ignored, because, how pleasant. I don't have torches. Well, I did see a stick back there. So let's go walk all the way back a couple blocks for a stick. Instead of just, crafting them. Because that's too much work. Why would I craft a stick? No, and I'm kidding. That's not why I'm not crafting a stick. It's because that would take up one of my wood and make it an imperfect number, which is unacceptable. Ba-ba-ba. Yeah, no, by the end of the time I moved, though, like, when we went separate ways in that friend group, it was right. It was like a few months after I moved, I'd been having significant issues making new friends. And honestly, at one point, I just crashed out. I said a lot of horrible things. And a number of those things I don't regret. There are a couple of those that were not only true, but also deserved. But a lot of those things I regret. Dodged. True Master never gets hit by an arrow. Yeah. But I don't want to talk about that much more. It's not just be trauma dumping. Plus that spoils the mood. I'm only thinking about that now because just last night I think I went back to some of my oldest videos and what did I do? Oh yeah, I looked at the comments that I hadn't read or responded to, or comments that I did respond to with something like, yeah, I'll do that later, or something that opened up a means of discussion, and I responded to some of those comments. It's interesting. I was really thinking necessarily others noticed as much, but I was a different person making a lot of those videos. Well, I don't think you guys would notice, because nobody who's watching this video, especially not, well, unless it's to this point, has watched like all of my other videos. In a way, I have been maturing through this time. Not physically, I think my days of growing might be over, but I think they have been over for a while now. But definitely mentally, there's some lessons that I've been learning. Like, first of all, I'm a simp. I had a what the fuck is this? Ow. Oh. Well, I'm glad I was okay. You know what? We'll just leave that alone, because I'm not going treasure hunting in the ground. Especially now when there's, like, lava. Yeah, as I was saying, I almost went out dating with someone and just acting honestly like their dog. If they wanted to talk, I'd talk. If they wanted me to go eat with them, I'd go eat with them. No. I'm not saying she was, like, acting the master or anything. She wasn't telling me what to do or bossing me around. Except I just kind of said yes to everything. Just funny. Honestly, looking back at it. You know? It's not like... It's not something that I hate. I don't regret it. Just... I actual relationship. It just wasn't meant to be. Yeah. Just thinking to myself, it would have been. We probably could have gotten together had I first had my mental health not been in that condition. Because I know one of my fellow YouTubers / Twitch streamer, Ashy, or Ashes, I don't know, honestly. I'll have to ask that eventually. If it goes by Ashes or Ashe. Because I think of her as Ashy, but she uses her videos as like, I can't remember what she calls it, like self-therapy or something like that. Ow. Energy on an empty stomach. But my work schedule is usually uploaded by usually decided by how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling really good, I'm gonna post a lot. Feeling I'll post a couple. Occasionally. And I've been posting kind of infrequently right now. More frequent than I was for a while, but that has nothing to do with my mental health. That's just because I've been so busy. But there was I think it was like spring of this year that I took a long break from posting. Because honestly, mental health was just in the dumps. I'm better now. But I reached a point that I hope I never have to reach again. I could really use a village right now. Like, I get that jungle temple is cool, but I can't eat bones and bamboo, and rotten flesh is not on the menu. Nor was there any rotten flesh in there, so. And yes, I do actually increase my. I don't know if you. I'm sure you guys probably didn't take much attention to it when I first started recording, but I do play on a significantly higher render distance when I'm alone. Because my PC actually has the ability to handle a lot higher render distance, just not while I'm recording. And that high render distance also tends to distract me. Well, it would likely distract me. I have no idea. I've never tested it. But I don't know, just being able to see that much terrain, that many structures, I feel like I would be able to pay attention to what I'm trying to say. Fix my posture. I've developed bad posture. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the meme of like the shrimp at a desk, and you know how shrimp are like kind of C-shaped. That's what I feel like my posture is, and it's not. I have actually okay posture. Just I like to play in good posture. Because even okay posture makes me sore after an hour. Dude, how big is this jungle? How few structures am I going to find today? I found that ocean monument. I found that shipwreck. I found that ruined portal that was completely buried, that I didn't loot. And I found that jungle temple. I find it odd because I call it an ocean temple, a desert temple, and a jungle temple. And ironically, the only one actually called the temple is the jungle one, which I never find. Because the desert one is actually called the desert pyramid, but I've been calling it a temple for the past decade. To think of it, I used to think there was also a snow monument. Which is probably the igloos. I don't know. Maybe it was ice spikes biomes that I found. For some reason, I was like pretty little. I saw something, and I thought there was like a snow monument or temple. Or maybe I just had told that to my friends when I was in elementary school. But that, I don't know, actually. I can't remember how old I was. What grade I was in when I started playing Minecraft. But I do remember when I first started, I liked to make up a lot of bullshit. Like I was more experienced at the game than I actually was. And looking back on it, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. And anyone with good knowledge of the game would have known that it was fake, but at the same time, I was pretty young, and stuff like that didn't really mean too much. Like those guys, they probably don't even remember any of the stuff I said. Maybe they thought I was a little unreliable. Because I made up a bunch of crap like that. But I doubt it. Recently, I've been listening to a bit of different music than usual. There was a while where I was listening to like 90s rap. Now I'm listening to like 80s, 90s rock, like grunge, Nirvana. I don't know if you consider Foo Fighters there, but I've been listening to them. I actually don't remember a lot of what I'm listening to, but it's good stuff. So stuff. And unlike a lot of modern music, it actually has good drums. And real drums. Like, hell, I don't think drummers must have it rough because everyone's using computers to make their drums. Like, I don't know. It's just got to be difficult to be a drummer in an age where people can just plug something into a machine and you just got drums. I mean, you could do the same with basses and guitars, but it's, at the same time, it's not really the same. Especially to non-music nerds, the guitar, vocals, and maybe not the bass, but at the very least the lead guitar and the vocals are the highlight of the song. And to someone who plays the drums, I've always focused on the drums primarily. The bass second, and the guitar and vocals third, a close third. Which is why I like songs like Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. Like, I can't understand half the vocals. I don't pay attention. I don't remember the lead guitar line. So the drums are kind of too, but they don't need to be difficult there. There are some songs that need heavy drums, especially for its genre, but that song doesn't. It's not a song that needs heavy drums. I think that's another thing that some drummers don't realize too. It's cool to be able to play really difficult drum solos. Part of drumming is knowing when you should be playing really cool and really difficult parts, and when you should just keep it low. So I was thinking, I actually had I think I had it up at 16. That's more like it. But, like, I'm sorry to go on a music rant, but, like, it's like being in a conversation, you know? If there are times when you should be loud and speak out, but if you're always being loud and speaking out, people will just find you noisy. And the same with drums. If you're always doing the most difficult things you have, no one's ever gonna hear the lead and the vocals as well. And I can think of a few people I'd like to give this lecture to, but I'm not calling names. And it's not like famous drummers or anything. It's like some of my friends who play drums as well. Because I've seen some of them play and a couple of them. Yeah, as I said, like to just make a lot of noise, and it's not always what you're supposed to do. Gravel Hills, it's been so long since I've seen this biome, and I'm glad this one stuff. But like for a little while they made this biome like stupid common, I think, on Bedrock. That was before all my friends had PCs and we could actually play on Java. Before all of my friends had PCs and money, so we could play on Java and host a better server than a regular Minecraft realm. My friends also have a 2-week Minecraft phase. It's like, oh, I'm gonna play Minecraft, and we're gonna get so far in it, and then everyone's gonna get bored of it, and we're gonna quit. And that's fun. I won't criticize them for that, because I can understand, but I'm a person who likes seeing the same thing a lot. I've dealt with change quite a bit. Like, I can understand how someone who's lived in the same neighborhood their whole life, never really moved around, you know, is friends with the same people all the way from elementary school to high school. I can understand how someone like that would really appreciate change, but I'm someone who's moved around 4 times in his lifetime. And my friends from elementary school probably wouldn't even recognize me. And I probably wouldn't recognize them either. I mean, there's a couple I might still recognize because I was with some of my friends all the way. I managed to be with some of my friends through middle school, so I got to see them grow up a little bit. But there's some people who just have looks that never change. But oh, it's this house. This house has been in the game for so stinking long. I mean, I think they made some edits to it, but it's like one of the original villager houses that they kept. It used to just be dirt there instead of grass. And there used to not be hay bales there, I don't think. Ooh, I like this. I saw this earlier, but I wasn't going to say anything. I needed to stumble upon it and not just look at it and go by. Oh, this is a mother load of obsidian and a couple diamonds. How delightful. But it's only 2 diamonds. I found 4 diamonds in the stronghold chest when I found the completely exposed one. Because there was a completely exposed stronghold with the stronghold chest right on the surface. And right there I found 4 diamonds in that chest. And that was it. There was nothing else in that chest. It was just 4 diamonds. Arranged in a kind of pattern looking formation. It was odd, but it was really good. Back onto change. Like, I don't know. Just kind of been looking for stability in my life. I'm not always the most stable person. So, and I changed quite a bit. Maybe not outwardly, but definitely internally. Honestly, there's a lot of times where I can't accurately remember what kind of person I was at times. So, and when I remember things about myself, I tend to remember the negatives. So, I might have been a decent person when I was younger, but I don't remember myself that way. I don't remember embarrassing things, because I don't do a whole lot of embarrassing things. I mean, one day I'm probably going to find this embarrassing. But, like, instead of embarrassment, a lot of times I just feel regret. Which is a bit of a stronger emotion, in my opinion. Embarrassment is, like, at least in my eyes, like a more surface level of regret. Like, I don't do a whole lot of stupid things. I'll do things that I feel like I should have thought through more. Not in the way of embarrassing, but like inconsiderate at times. And not very far-sighted, which isn't like the person I want to be. I'm a pretty smart guy. I mean, you probably don't believe it hearing it from me. I have my own policy that anyone who needs to say that there's something probably isn't that. There are some exceptions, but like a lot of times when you're saying that, you're either saying that to gaslight yourself, gaslight others, or you legitimately just don't know. Like, you've already gaslighted yourself. I had a teacher who liked to say he liked to say he was a good teacher in a really defensive way because somebody had sent in complaints to the office about him. And yeah, he'd earned those complaints. He hardly taught us anything. Probably spent, he was a music teacher, he probably spent more time complaining about us not practicing than he did actually teaching us how to play music. In fact, I don't think I actually learned any music from him. I learned songs. It's like, I don't know. It's like the difference between being given a math formula and completing a problem with it, and actually understanding what that math formula means and why it's important to learn it. You know? I mean, I guess that's how a lot of upper level math is. So that's not a very good example. One didn't really make as much sense as I wanted it to, but the difference between learning a song and... Oh, I know, good one. The difference between learning a song, how to play a song, and learning how to play music is like the, give a man a fish. So yeah, he gave me a fish, and I played that song. I ate for a day. But he never taught me how to fish. Which is not so cool. Because, you know, you're taking a music class, you don't do that just for fun. I mean, some people do, but when you learn... When you take a music class, you're kind of expected to learn how to... You're expected to understand music a little better. Oh, shit. The solution to defeating the enemy is oftentimes provided by the enemy himself. In this case, in order to escape those pillagers, they knocked me off this little bridge and towards their the entrance of their tower. Clutched it. Not even close. It's funny, I still consider myself a bad stuff like that. It's probably because of all the other skills I'm missing out on, because I can't do PvP very well. You put me on like Hypixel and I get shredded. And I can aim really well with like fireballs. But anything other than fireballs and bows, and I get shredded. You put me in Skyblock on Hypixel, I don't understand any of that stuff, because honestly, that's not Minecraft skill, though. That's just, like, actually something else. But I'm not the best builder, at least some of the time. I require an idea in mind before I can start building. And sometimes I wish there was an easier way for me to put an image I have in my mind just directly onto like a sheet of paper or something, because I can't draw for the life of me. I made like 3 actually decent drawings, and I've never made any good ones since. And honestly, those weren't very good either. And those ones had inspiration in mind on paper. Like, I had a paper copy of my inspiration for that. Actually, one of them was my hand, so that's not quite on paper, but I actually did stick it on the paper. A bit of tracing, but nonetheless, it's not part of the paper. An ARG I watched fairly recently about a guy who one of his friends went missing, and not to give any spoilers, but I mean, actually, yes, these are exactly spoilers, but later on in the ARG, he discovers that something is trying to get him to jump into a well. And he's luring him to do that with a sense of nostalgia. Like, something that... Like, he's taking him back to worlds that he made when he was younger. He's showing him things that he made with one of his friends who, as part of the plotline, had also jumped in as well previously. No, it's not like he jumped into the well and survived. No, it was a method of, you know, how do they say it? Unaliving themselves. Which is kind of rough, but... I feel like I would be really susceptible to that, because like, look at me, I'm not even playing the newest version of Minecraft. The version I'm playing is, God, it's like 45 years old now. It's crazy. and I've never been up to date with modern slang. In fact, and I'm a history nerd too. Things like the past have always been interesting to me. But it just really strikes me as kind of scary how, if I was in that main character's position, I probably would have jumped into that well, because supposedly that well brings you to, I don't know, the ultimate nostalgia, is what I can only assume. But it's uncomfortable, because you know, it's like, it's knowing in that situation you wouldn't be alive, you would have killed yourself. I did try to do that once. Actually, it was a couple more times than once, but I have no scars to bear from it. It's one of the catchphrases. I don't know if catchphrase is the right one, but one of the phrases I developed and used is that people cut their wrists, or they're either A, in desperate need of attention and trying to seek it in the easiest way possible, just showing the world that they need help, or B, I mean people cut their wrist. Like, not necessarily kill. They either do it because they need attention, or they do it because they need help and don't know how to ask. And I've never really been one for asking for help, so I don't actually. Instead of using something like a knife, I had a big thing of painkillers. Using a knife, but a couple of downsides to it, because sure, it's the easiest and cheapest way to come by, but well, I'm not proud of my looks at all. I'm actually really negative about my looks, and don't think I look good at all. And no one's ever told me, but and people tell me I look good, but it's, it's like parents or old ladies. It's like my dad sometimes. It's never like my friends or anything, which I guess I can understand. Well, everyone can. Oh my god. Is that finally it? Did I finally find it? I did. Let's go. 1 Mushroom Island, 2 Mushroom Island, 3 Mushroom Island, and they're all tiny. This is like the second most disappointing mushroom island I have ever found. Oh. Ah, there's one more, and it's still tiny. It's like 5 chunks of it. It's not an... I found huge mushroom fields before. I wish I could show you, but it was on a bedrock realm that I no longer have access to. God, the price I'd pay to get my hands on those realm world files. You guys have no idea. I would spend my entire pocket dry to get the world files for every realm I've been on. Which is only 10. Which I guess is kind of a lot, but it's still... Considering my wallet isn't particularly empty. I mean, it's not my savings account or anything, but for a wallet, it is a pretty fat wallet. It's a lot of money for like 11 world files. Not to the world file of all of my realms and all of my... I know that's a structure, but I don't think that's one that has a chest. Or more rather, I'm so far off course that I don't want to go visit there. All of my server files, world files from Minecraft servers, because there's this mod pack I played so long ago. I think it was called like Stinky SMP or something like that. And the moderation team there was so corrupt. It was crazy. Some guy, one of the admins invited his little brother on. And his brother was a complete rage baiter and troll. It was so bad. And he broke like half the rules of the realm, and he didn't get banned. And he stole like half the server's resources using his origin. In an area that you couldn't steal, by the way. Like, you weren't permitted to steal anything in this area, you just went about doing it. So he set up a plan. We killed him in the legal area that we could kill him too. We got an entire 11-player squad banned from that server forever. And here's the thing: it was a 30-player server, not a 30-player server. It was like there were like 50 people there, but we were the most active group in the entire server. And without us, the server closed within literally 2 months of us getting banned. A server that had been up for like... Actually, I don't remember. It was like 4 years. It was crazy. Some kid playing a stupid origin literally closed like an old-ass server where everybody on the server could afford to wear netherite armor, maxed out netherite armor. That one kid tore down the entire server. It was so stupid too, because that was probably the best Minecraft server I've ever been on. I was really close with the guys there. I mean, they weren't like me at all, and were it not for the fact that we were playing Minecraft, I probably never would have been friends with those guys. But like the Origins mods we had there, and generally how the people there acted. It was probably the best server I've ever been on, and I would totally, like, if I could rejoin that server and do it all over again, I would. Except for one thing, which is I'd probably hide my stuff better. It's the only thing I'd change. I'd just, because we didn't expect this kid to just break into our base while we were off. Well, we were online actually. They added a freaking origin to make him invincible and gave him creative mode flight. And he was the only player who could use it too. That's the other stupid thing. Because there were like beta origins or whatever. Like ones that were still in development that only one person could use at a time. This kid chose one. So crazy busted. Like we finally managed to get him to. We killed him once. All of us got banned. It was crazy. The server collapsed. Actually, it wasn't even 2 months. It was 2 weeks. And 2 weeks was the last. Well, after 2 weeks, nobody ever logged on aside from, I think, a couple of the admins. We pretty much just logged on to. I don't know. I don't remember now. This was when I. This was a long time ago. This might have been around the time. Yeah, it was like pretty close after 1.16. Maybe 1.17. 1.8. No, it was 1.18. Was around this server, and during the pandemic, just all of us getting banned was freaking tragic. And the best part is that the guy who banned us all wasn't the only admin. But for some reason, once he banned us, none of the other admins could unban us. So, and they knew we were the most active faction too. It was like the only thing keeping that server alive was us. And once we were gone, it was just bound to fail. There was no scenario where it could have revived without us. Any action they would have made was after the banning was too little and too late. Because here's the thing, most of the valuables still left on that server were in the inventories of the players that got banned, because we killed the guy who just stole all the most valuable resources. Like, he'd taken all of his stuff out of his ender chest to trade for some better things, but we ended up killing him. I don't know how he fell for that either. It was so freaking obvious. Like, that kid could not have been more than like 10. Because he didn't have a mic, he didn't even when he was messaging, he couldn't spell for shit. And all he did was rage bait, like he was a complete zoomer. Not a zoomer. I'm a zoomer. Zoomer, sorry. Gen Z. No, he was a squeaker. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm still mad at that kid. Honestly, I'm never going to forgive that kid. He did things that... Because here's the thing. The stuff he'd stolen... Because at the time that he was stealing the stuff, was in an arena fight. And I'd just died, and he'd taken my full set of armor. Because I'd taken off most of my valuables, but my full set of maxed out netherite armor was on me. And I died with it. He took it. And that's what got me so pissed off. I don't think he knew it was mine. Like, because it didn't go right from my inventory to him. It went from my inventory to someone else who also got killed because it was a 2v2 duel. I can't imagine what was going through that admin's head when it's like, you know what? Instead of banning a guy who's broken half the rules on the server. Oh yeah, and the only thing he's got is that he's my like little brother or something. He never openly admitted it, but it was like the level of bias that kid got. It almost perfectly clear. Like, the only rule that we even broke while killing him was no killing people while trading. And on top of that, there was actually an exception to that rule. And it's unless they're scamming you. And he was scamming us, but we couldn't exactly prove it. Because no one had, like, photo evidence. I have only, like, 5 screenshots from those days. It's sad. But even so, it's some of the best ones. Because what I really enjoyed was the origin I had was like a midget origin. And it was 1 block tall. Which sounds annoying, but it could also climb like a spider. And it had a tiny hitbox. Sure, I had a half health, but I still dealt full damage. It's not like some mods where it's like, oh, you're small, you have no health, and you can't do damage at all. No, that's not what it was. It was half of these origins were made for combat, and they just halved my hitboxes with my health at the same time because that made it a little more fair. I think that's a boat, but I'm not going all the way back there. I missed it once on it. There's nothing good in there. God, I think my best memory of that server, though, was where I built my house, because I was 1 block tall. And there was these pipe blocks I used, and actually I wasn't 1 block tall. I was like a quarter of a block tall. So my hitboxes were freaking tiny. It made me an absolute demon in PvP. But, what I could do was I set up these things where I set up like stairs in the wall to make like holes in the wall, and I could go into those holes, and I had like these little tunnels that I called my house, and it was inside the arena base. I don't know if you've seen like Luke Skywalker's house, where it's kind of like that pit with a bunch of tunnels splitting off of it. We had that, except that pit was the arena. and all those areas splitting off were like storage units, and a couple of them were bedrooms. Like they led to halls with storage units and bedrooms. It wasn't just like straight into storage and bedrooms. But I lived in the walls of someone else's house. It was quite pleasant. Especially considering I had these little holes that'd stick in like areas you couldn't find. Like one of the guys who had lived in that area liked to make these benches, I'll call them, where it's like a stair, an upside down stair facing one direction with an upside down stair facing towards that stair, like they're facing towards each other. And I don't know, it's easier to explain with stairs. But he did like that, and I'd make like tunnels underneath there that I could just crawl around on. It was fun as hell. I just pop out of the walls and be like, "Yo, what's up?" I also got the nickname Ankle Biter from there. That's the only time I've ever been called short. Because I didn't use a sword or anything. I used an axe with sharpness 5. And I'd come out and I'd like wait for people to walk by the little holes I set up, and I'd just smack them. No one ever saw it coming because those holes were dark, because I also had night vision. Which was actually a feature I asked one of the admins for. But yeah. I think that's all for today. I'll see you guys next time. I've just been rambling for how long is this? Oh, it's only an hour. Oh, that felt like a lot longer.